this might be good for us to
Awesome.
have a quick combo about
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
This is going to be about Stranger Things.
Yep, so if you haven't watched the final season, definitely the final episode, just maybe take a pause or fast forward through this one. Because, that was a doozy.
Well, I can tell you, like, the last hour, all I did was cry.
Yep.
Did you like it?
Honest opinion, overall, I thought it was perfect.
Okay.
It broke my heart.
It absolutely broke my heart.
But I can't see a prettier bow being on the end of it.
I'm smiling and pointing my finger at you because when it ended, I knew that you were going to say that because tied up in a bow, perfect ending is what I always want.
I know, and that's what I thought of because we talked about it was supernatural.
Because I did not like the supernatural ending. I was devastated by the ending because I wanted that perfect bow, but that didn't make sense for their entire lives.
Right.
But I still wanted it.
Uh-huh.
So when it ended, I was like, oh my God, that perfect little tied up package, so great.
It was. I think that was what Elle was always going to do.
Sacrifice herself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she knew that if she, especially after hearing Callie's story at the end, which I definitely was one of those people who had to be like, my bad, Callie, because I thought that she was on some shady shit.
Right.
Going into the finale.
Well, I think they kind of wrote it that way to make us kind of doubt her. Even Hopper was like, I don't trust her. Remember?
Right. And I started seeing a lot of theories on the Mind Flayer, and it all kind of like fit with her a little bit. So I definitely was like, there's something there. I'm so glad there wasn't, though.
Yeah, me too. Even the episode that Elle was on, she didn't have Elle's best interest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In mind, like she,
and that's what I thought of too.
Yeah,
like, she wanted her to be with her, so that so.
And she used her for her agenda and her motives.
Right.
So we already don't really see her as a good guy.
Right.
And in my opinion, of all the episodes of Stranger Things, that episode is the worst episode.
The one that she's in?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'm a little resentful to that character anyway.
Right.
But yeah, and I think they kind of maybe like put it in our heads when Hopper was like, oh, I don't trust her, because then you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
If Hopper doesn't trust her, something is going to happen.
Yeah.
And
like when it comes to Hopper, like I definitely consider what he's saying versus what he actually means, because when it comes to Elle, he is that's his new daughter, and he's already lost one. So, like, there's that layer of emotion where it's like, now this new character is coming in and trying to claim my family as her family.
Right.
So I knew there was a little bit of, like, jealousy there.
Sure.
Without even really realizing it, but still, like, I fell for it. Yeah. They got me hook, line, and sinker if that was their intent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But I really enjoyed that they fast-forwarded and showed them all, like, in the next phases of their lives. Like, I needed that.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is, like, 10 years of us watching this show. Mm-hmm. And I have watched this, like, maybe not hundreds, but probably at least, like, 50 times.
Yeah.
This is one of, like, my comfort shows.
Right, same here. Yeah.
Especially, like, even when there was only season 1 and 2,
yep.
I would watch them over constantly.
Yeah.
So I know, like, every detail about the first, like, few seasons. But
yeah, I remember when we worked together, it was something that we were like, oh my God, you watch it too. And I did the same thing. It was like after season 1 was done, I rewatched it. After season 2, I rewatched both of them,
Yeah.
I just went back and rewatched them again, and like, so I cried for the whole last hour, but then when it was over, I literally cried into my hands for like at least another 20 minutes, grieving that it was done.
Yeah.
Like, it was a heartbreaking, like, bittersweet feeling, because it was like so fantastic, and it gave, like, the way that it ended, it just...
Yeah.
I was like, nothing will ever top this. Like,
and I know nothing
will bring this kind of feeling back for me, I feel like.
I know, and one of my other girlfriends like Christmas Eve, we're both like texting each other like, okay, I'm starting now because we want it, you know. And then we're like texting, are you done yet? Are you, you know? And when it was done, I text her because she had started it sooner than me.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like an hour later, and I was like, girl, I am still crying. She's like, this is a doozy here.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, fuck. Like, I mean, it went off, and then my Netflix just was like suggesting new shit to watch. Like, I didn't turn anything else. I really just sat there like, what the fuck did I just see? And like,
yeah.
I haven't gone back to rewatch it. I actually, when you got here, the second to last episode, I started rewatching, and I was going to watch it again because I'm like, I feel like I missed so much because I'm so emotionally charged.
Yes, absolutely. And I watched it super late because we had a birthday party on New Year's Eve, so I didn't start it until probably 12:30, you know, and so by the time I finished crying, it was like 3 a.m,
right?
You know, so I was like, okay, now I'm going to bed, and then I woke up the next day, and I did start it so I could rewatch it, but my son came home, and he had watched it, and he was like, can we start the whole thing over? So we started the whole thing over.
From season 1?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. But I am excited. Now we're on season 4, so I am excited to get back to that last season. I already watched season 5 twice, except for the last episode, so.
Yeah, I did only because, like, you know, they came out in those little doses, so I binge watched them all right away, and then we had to wait like a month for like 3 more episodes to come out, so then I rewatched them then. But I haven't rewatched it in the entirety.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I want to talk about little things that annoyed me.
Okay, I have
and they're probably very similar to other people's complaints on the internet.
Yeah, so my biggest one was no Demogorgons. Where were the Demogorgons?
Yeah, you're right. That didn't even faze me. That's why I think I need to rewatch it again and pay more attention.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I was like, all right, man, like, these things have been, like, a huge part of the Upside Down for this whole time now.
And now they're just not.
Yeah, they were completely absent, and I don't think there was one in the finale. I'd have to go back and watch to be sure, but yeah.
So, something that bothered me.
Okay.
Is when Mrs. Wheeler was injured, so was Mr. Wheeler. How come no one was worried about him?
Because I'm going to be really blunt here. Because Mr. Wheeler is the most useless fucking character. Like,
yes, but I feel like they just really like, well, fuck him. Like, I mean, was he dead? Was he...
The last thing I remember was seeing him in the hospital. He was still asleep. I don't remember if they said he was in a coma or if they said that he was just sleeping, but that he would be okay.
But then every time Nancy talked about, like, she didn't say, like, my parents were hurt. She'd be like, my mom! It's like, what about your dad, dude?
I know.
I was like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And so we don't know about that. The other thing that I thought of was what happened to the Myers dog. Remember they had a dog in the first season?
They did.
Yeah, and I'm like, how come? I mean, I get it. It doesn't really need a dog in the storyline, but...
You just got rid of Will's dog after he got kidnapped and put into this upside down world he was gone for months.
And that dog, like, passing away or whatever, would have been a really emotional episode.
Yeah.
You know, like, they could have put, like, so much into it. Like, what did you guys bring it to the shelter because you didn't want to bring it to California with you?
Right.
Did it run away? Did the Demogorgon... Like, where is your dog?
After season 1, it just never came back.
They
never discussed it again.
And there's only like a few beginning episodes, like when she first initially reports him missing and Hopper comes over and the dog's barking.
Yep.
Like, that's really the only episode. Do you remember the dog's name?
Oh my gosh. No.
I think it's Appleton.
Oh, I'm going to look it up real quick.
Because in the part where they get the little pool to put salt in it.
Yes.
He says, do you still have that pool you bought for Appleton? or something like that.
I thought he said we bobbed for apples in.
Oh, damn. Man, this hearing problem is deep.
Okay, his name was Chester.
Chester, I don't think they ever... oh my God. I am like...
So he was last in the finale of season 1, and then he was never mentioned again.
So, Chester, so you said that we bobbed apples in, and I thought they said that we bought for Appleton.
Yes.
You know, and what do I always say? For being partially deaf, I hear some funny shit.
Yeah,
So this whole time, for like 10 years, I thought the Myers dog's name was Appleton.
Oh, God, that is hilarious. He goes, do you have that pool that we bobbed for apples in?
Oh, no. And I thought he said bought for Appleton. Oh, my goodness gracious. That is hilarious. And I don't think they ever mentioned the name Chester. I don't remember that.
Gosh, if they did, it was like either in the first episode or the second when she was like explaining like Chester was barking at the...
Yeah.
Because remember, he was barking at the shed or something at some point.
Yeah, and I know that there's a part like where there was like some scratches on the wall and Hop said something like, how long you had, or damage to the wall, the doorknob. He's like, how long that's been there. And I thought she said something like, I don't know, I got 2 boys and a dog.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what goes on here.
Right.
You know?
Which is so relatable.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so those are really the only things that I was like, oh, and the other thing is, Kelly, I thought she had an accent in the episode she was in.
She definitely had an accent. But it seemed, I'll say, even in the episode that she, like, first was introduced, I think her accent was horrible, and I think she kind of slipped in and out of it.
I agree. And I was talking, because one of my bosses likes the show too. So we were talking about it, and I said, it's not like she had a British accent, but she had some kind of accent.
Yeah.
And I said, he's like, this is what he said to me. He said, at first I thought it's because she's like a British actress and she was trying to speak English.
Right, and that's
like
what
American
I
English.
thought, yeah.
Yes. He's like, but I think it's because, remember the way that Elle talks? Almost like monotone and childlike because they lacked education.
Right.
He's like, so maybe that's what she was trying to pull off in that?
Okay, I could see that, for sure.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know. I almost felt like it did have like a Britishness to it.
It's
like,
either that or it could be that like somebody who was working on the show was trying to like force an accent on her and maybe it just didn't really work.
It bothers me that no one talks about it.
Right.
Because the reason I think of this is when that episode aired, and it's one of the reasons I don't like this episode either, is if her and 11 were raised together in that facility, however they both escaped, how come she has a British accent and Elle doesn't?
Right.
Because her mom was British that didn't raise her?
Right, and I could see it if she had escaped years ago and was living over there.
Yeah.
And, like, because you always pick up from the dialect of the area that you live in. It's unavoidable.
Right.
But it happens slowly over time. So I could see it if it was like that's where she was.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Right. She was in America, not too far.
Right.
So, yeah. Was it Illinois?
Was it Illinois? Yeah.
Okay.
Going to Illinois? I don't know.
Well, Illinois was where Hopper and...
Illinois is where the
Joyce were going to talk to Murray.
Yeah, Murray. Yeah, Murray lived in Illinois. They're in Indiana.
Yes,
maybe it was like Chicago or something.
Might be. It did kind of look like a Chicago type area.
Yeah,
where
it
Callie
did.
Was so
maybe that's something we could follow up on. Yeah, but I was like, it always bothered me. Like, why does she have a British accent? It's not like Papa was British,
right?
And she would have picked up that dialect. So I was like, where does this come from?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know.
Well, and I'm curious too. Did they ever say like? So were all of the kids born from different mothers who were like Jane's mom?
I don't know that, and I don't, and I don't ever remember if it was talked about. It was talked about in season 5, and I didn't pay attention.
Right.
Because I have thoroughly watched those other seasons.
And I know that at the end there, they did, I mean, we learn about what they're doing with Callie's blood. And so they do hint at Jane's biological mother being part of those experiments with Henry's blood. But they don't really necessarily say that there's other women. I guess I'm just assuming that there would be other mothers who were injected with Henry's blood.
Sure.
You know, to get all of the other psychic children, or they all had different abilities, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Well, and then it makes me wonder, because remember when Elle went to her mom and her aunt had these files with all these kids' pictures?
Yes.
What were the files? Were they of missing kids? Or were they...
You know, I just watched it too, and I have to go back and rewatch it.
Because why... I mean, or were they just the files that she stole? Because she was, remember, like, showing her pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, are they stolen files from patients? Or were they like... Or was her aunt saying, like, here, I don't know, but these are all the missing kids at the time that this happened to Mom? I don't remember that part clearly.
Yeah, I cannot remember where she had gotten the files.
Right.
Part of me thinks that it was Jane's mother had been investigating, and that's why they ended up, doing the electroshock therapy until she couldn't speak anymore.
Right.
So it's possible that it was, like, maybe her investigation files that she was giving to her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll bet you there's more info about that in that episode. I'd
Probably,
be curious to go back and look now and see.
Right. That's something I'm like, I just,
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those people that's overcritical, because then you kind of ruin it for yourself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because I really think the ending was great.
Yeah.
I think they did a really great job of tying everything in.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that Mike became more powerful than Elle.
I did too. Oh, you mean Will?
Yes.
Will. Yes.
I'm sorry.
That shit gave me goosebumps.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of the Christmas Eve release, right?
With when he was coming out.
Yes.
Like, that's probably when I started crying.
Yeah.
And that's, I didn't recover.
Yeah. I know that I've seen a lot of criticism about that episode, and I think a lot of it just boils down to homophobia.
Oh, for sure.
But, like, I thought it was great. I mean, it doesn't need to be some, like, what did you want him to do? Bring flowers? I mean, he got everybody together, so he had to do it one time. He knew that it was the only way that he could get rid of the power that Vecna had over him, right. And he just blurted it out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what more did you want him to...
What more? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So you saw online people...
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. They thought that they went too far into it, and...
Oh, then those are definitely homophobic.
Right,
people.
And, like, that it was drawn out, and, like, they didn't need to
beautiful.
have... Yeah.
I thought it was really incredible the way he had the courage, because it's not an easy thing for anyone to admit, especially when you're scared for acceptance. Or,
right.
Or,
Well, and he admitted, too, about Mike.
Yeah.
And that part, I think that is really a part that got people, because I did see a lot of people saying, well, like, Mike didn't really react to that part of it, so they didn't really, like, button up that portion of it. But, like...
how was Mike supposed to react and be like, oh, cool, you love me? Well, I don't,
right.
I don't know what the expectation of that would have been.
Right. And it wasn't like he was still hung up on Mike in that moment.
No.
He had moved past it and realized, like he was saying, that Mike was his Tammy. So.
Right. And I can remember you and I talking probably way back in season 2.
Yes.
When I said, I think that he's going to be, that he's gay.
Yeah, and he loves Mike.
And
I did not pick up on that until you said it.
Yeah, and then when that episode came out, when they were in California, and he made, like, the drawing. He showed him the drawing he made.
And then he started crying.
Yeah, and that's when you said, you're like, that's when you realized that he was in love with Mike. And I'm like, I've known it since, like, season 2.
Yeah.
Like, it was just the way things were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'll say, too, when the internet kind of exploded about Will being gay, like, there was a lot of people that came out and were like, have you guys been paying attention at all to, like, what this show is about? Because I've gone back now and rewatching, and, I mean, yeah, from the very first episode, Joyce is talking about Will's own father calling him a fag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, sorry to say that, but and it just hit me, like, and then I just kept seeing it. Just the little shots over and over again in the episodes from people in the public.
And there is an episode where Mike says something to him like, we can't help it you don't like girls.
Yeah.
Like, they were arguing about, because they wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. They wanted to go to the mall or hang out with Elle or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, can't help it you don't like girls.
Yep.
You know, and then everyone's like, what? And he's like, I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
You know, like, yeah.
Yeah, but no, there was actually a lot of that I guess I, like, hadn't really picked up on before, like, the internet was like, oh my god, now everything's about people being gay. Like, no, it kind of was from the beginning, though.
And here's what I think about that scene, is this is a very iconic show, and I think that scene is going to be a very big scene that people reference and talk about, just like that scene with David on Schitt's Creek, where he talks about what kind of wine he likes.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
That's a super iconic scene that so simply explains something, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is also going to become one of those iconic scenes for the history of the
LGBTQ.
Thank you. Plus community.
Yes.
Thank you. I try not to be ignorant about it, but
no, I feel you. But I completely agree with that, and I believe that this show asks society to take a real deep, hard look at the way that community has been treated. You think about the 80s, that's not that far away.
Girl, no, it's not.
And that's how it was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people your age lived through that. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that I've been thinking about a lot.
I am sure that people my age are still in the closet because of that.
Yeah.
You know? Something else my boss said to me that I didn't really think about until he said it. And I was like, oh, holy shit. But he said he was really disappointed in Elle's, like, character development. He's like, everybody else grew but Elle. Like, when you first see her, like, she doesn't really speak well. She doesn't know words. She doesn't really even know how to tell time. Like, because she wasn't taught in the normal thing.
Right.
But then she's around all these kids that are educated and then going to school, but she still has that same, like, speech tone.
Yeah.
And she... Like, her character wasn't developed as much as the other ones. It didn't thrive as much.
I think that that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I didn't really consider it before, but yeah, I mean, after season 1, Mike thought she was gone, but Hopper had her at the cabin. Mm-hmm. So
remember, she was teaching her, like, a word a day. And
then, right. So you would think that it would... that would have been a great time for them to, like, put that development in there. And you're right, they kind of, I mean, they did to a small extent, but it almost feels like they tried to keep her young and childish.
Yes, and then after he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking about it, and I was like, you're right. There was even parts in there where her real name is Sadie Sink, but Max. Her and Max are looking at, like, the Wonder Woman comic.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and she's, like, exposing her to that and, like, music and stuff like that. But beyond that, there's never growth.
Right.
And even...
That was, I think, the first time that I actively saw them try to character develop her. They gave her a girl to show her that there's more to the world than just what Mike and Will and Dustin can show you.
Yes. But then I was really disappointed that once they were in California... She was doing the presentation, and she was this timid little, like, can barely pronounce words, and I was like, what? It's almost like they developed her, and then they reverted her back.
Right, because she went on with Joyce she absolutely would have made sure that she continued to have a strong development.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joyce is a good mom. Despite the fact that she lost her kid in season 1, blames herself forever for it.
I mean, she didn't lose her kid.
No, but she thinks that
she thinks she did.
Yeah.
But she was working.
Yeah.
She was like any single fucking mom.
Exactly.
You know? But, yeah, so I feel like it's like they tried to develop her, but then maybe they didn't want her too developed because then they couldn't be her character anymore.
Right.
Like that
it wouldn't fit the storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, so after he said that, I was like, oh, I really didn't really think about that, but now I am.
Yeah.
Now I am. And I don't think she really had, like, really deep, in-depth conversations again until, like, season 5. But other than that, it was like, you know, like, I can do it, or, I don't know, it's just... It wasn't like, I can do it because of this, and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not like she was intelligently speaking, it didn't feel like.
Right. Well, the whole of season 4, season 3, Hopper was gone, and they were in...
He was in the Russian...
Yes, prison. And they were in California.
And then she got taken.
So then it's like... I mean, yeah, she absolutely should have been more developed before they started her, like, when she was doing that presentation.
Yeah.
And then...
I agree.
When she, once she was taken by the, it's not Papa, but what's his name? The other military guy.
I know, I can't think of his name, but the good guy.
The good guy, yeah. So,
the good guy.
Then she had to kind of go back to focusing on that. And so she didn't really have time to, like...
But I think they kept her in that underdeveloped, like, educationally spot, because then they couldn't have had that whole scene.
Yeah.
That whole interaction with that bitch girl.
Oh, God, I hated that shit.
Oh, it made me cringe. I hated it so much. But you wouldn't have had all that interaction.
Right.
Like, her being made fun of, her lashing out, her getting in trouble. You know, like, if they developed her more.
Like, almost filler conflict. Like, they needed to have that in order to kind of spread that conflict with Mike she had a little bit in the beginning. It almost felt a little bit like that. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I never thought about that. Wow.
Yeah, I know. And girl, I've been dying to talk to you about it. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut until we get together. Yeah. But overall, I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I'm glad that it ended. A lot of people are upset that it ended, but
all good things have to come to an end.
You don't want to stretch things out, because then you end up with a Game of Thrones ending.
Yeah, or you end up with just ridiculous shit happening where you're like, what?
Exactly.
Now they can do that? Like,
right.
No.
Yeah.
There's just certain things, I'm sure we could name probably several things that should have been ended way before their time.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? But yeah, the Game of Thrones ending, God, that was just...
That one, though, I think that they just were done with it, which doesn't make much sense because they were making so much money. Right. But they just rushed it, Right. They just needed an ending.
Right, yeah, I think so, too. So, when Stranger Things first came out, Thanksgiving, right? Mm-hmm. The first batch of it, I was with my best friend's family for Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home and watch Stranger Things. And her sister says to me, oh my gosh, do you like that character Eddie? And I was like...
Oh, I fucking love Eddie.
Yeah. I said, yeah? And she was like, oh my God, one day I went to the Brewers and they were giving away, like, it was like Netflix Day and they were giving away Eddie Funko Pops. And
what?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, really? And she was like, I have it. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, if you don't have anyone to give it to. And she's like, oh my God, I had like 4 of them and I gave them all away. I just have one sitting in my house. I don't want it. I was like, okay. And she's like, all right, I'll bring it to you. Girl, this is what she fucking brought me. Listeners, it is a Funko Pop box that is like 4 times the size of a regular Funko. And it's like him playing the guitar in that epic scene where he's like playing the Metallica song. And yeah, I was like, this is what they just gave everyone at the Brewers game?
I know. Why didn't I go to that Brewers?
I know, and I did ask her, do you by chance have one more? Because I was going to get one for you.
It has the episode name in the back. Chapter 9, The Piggyback. Stranger Things 4. This is so fucking cool.
I know it. I can't believe she's just been hanging on to it. Like, you like that Eddie guy?
Like that Eddie character? Like,
and I was
dude.
Yeah. And then when she gave it to me, I was like, holy shit.
That is
It's number, if you want to look it up, it's number 1505. And it is so cool. They're in the upside down. But it even has it's in a plastic case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fucking
like,
awesome.
Holy shit.
Love that.
Yeah. It's like, yes, I'll take that.
Right? That's fucking cool. I can't believe they're just giving those out at the brewer game.
I know.
I just had to move my Supernatural ones. Like, I keep them in my living room on my bookcase, but I've gotten so many books that they just keep going, like, further and further down on, like, my side one.
Uh-huh.
And now they're at, like, the very bottom. And I'm like, oh, God, what am I going to do with them? But I moved my lizard tank, so now my whole entertainment center just opened up.
Okay.
And I'm going to start putting some books there.
Nice.
So then I can have, like, some...
Well, you have a basement, too, so you can always put, like, get one of those old, like, niche-y shelves that you can fit, like, something in.
And, like, I do have a couple of other ones down there, but I just didn't want to move those ones down there. I want them to be displayed. They're my favorite, you know?
Yeah,
so,
I hear you.
But I'm like, man, I have so many books. Look
at what surrounds you. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you have something that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I have Dean. I think you gave me Dean.
I might have, yeah.
I think you gave me Dean.
You gave me
I gave
two.
I gave you Dean and Sam.
Okay, and someone gave me Castiel.
Maybe I gave you Cass. I know I gave you... I think I gave you Dean and Sam.
I think you gave me Dean and Castiel. I
so.
think Wendy might have given me Sam.
Oh, maybe.
Or Jamie, maybe.
I think it'd probably be more likely Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I have all three of them.
I know, and they're super expensive now to get Sam or Castiel. And I was like, I should have got them for myself, too.
Yeah.
But Dean's okay. I'm okay with Dean. I'm so okay with Dean.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Hopefully we didn't spoil anything for you, but we've given you a lot of things to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Let us know in the comments what you guys thought about the finale and if you want to hear us talk more about Stranger Things.
Right. And let me know if you honestly knew what the Myers dog's name was.
Yeah, seriously.
Is it Appleton or Chester?
We're looking for theories. Where's the dog today?
Yes. Yes. Outrageous, ridiculous theories is probably preferred, right?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
If you have any topic suggestions, please feel free to share them with us at hexhavenpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like more Hexhaven content before our next episode releases, please check out our Patreon.